Good evening and welcome to our crafting this evening. My name is Jenny McCormack and I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley in Northamptonshire here in the UK. Thank you so much for joining us. I would welcome any feedback because I have changed my microphones around and I'm hoping that this is coming out loud and clear for you. But if it is too quiet, please let me know and I'll need to adjust the settings ready for next time. So thank you for joining me. It's Thursday the 28th of March and it's an absolutely foul day here. Well, it certainly is where we've been. The rain doesn't seem to have stopped. It was nice in the morning and then it's rained and hailed all afternoon, and it looks set to be similar this evening. So hi Zana, lovely to have you join us. Thanks for saying hi. Do let me know if the volume is okay because I have changed my microphone settings and it's quite difficult to test on your own computer because you don't know if other people's settings are picking that up. So if you can hear me loud and clear, do let me know. Thank you so much. So the stamp set of the week and also the stamp set that I've been using for our March class is Encircled in Nature, as you can see. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Zana. That's really good. So I've been using Encircled in Nature. We used it for coffee and cards and we'll be using it there tomorrow on Good Friday in Brackley. And there's also some dies that go with it that I've used for our class for this month. So I'm just going to show you some samples. Let me get the coffee and card ones out first. So these are variations that I created during coffee and card. So I've got this one here where I stamped the twig wreath after I stamped the flowers and masked them off so that I could make it sort of go round behind the flowers. So it was that one there. And just to show that it doesn't have to be, you know, flowers or trees, I use the birds here from, desperately trying to think what it is. It's not ocean, well, it might have been ocean front, but use the birds on that one there, as you can see. And hi Caroline, nice to have you join us. And then we've got this one here that I did the sample on Monday in a live, and also this one here I did on the live on Monday. Let me show you some more samples. So these were the samples for card class using the dies as well as some of the stamps. So this just uses the dies and you've got all these trees and again that lovely outline. I did this variation with the oak leaves in the brushed gold. And then this was a variation that I'm going to do a similar version of today, which is this one here with the colours added in with blends pens. I wanted to show that also those flowers and things could be draped down rather than going up, so that's a different variation. Just using the die cut in gold. And then this one with those going up in the boho blue. So those are the ones that I have done so far. As I say, some of those were for class. Let me move these out of the way. And just to remind you, if you didn't see Monday's session, this is the stamp set as is if you just have the stamp. So you've got this lovely twig wreath here. You've got some nice sentiments, you've got the flowers, you've got the pine trees, you've got some flowers like wildflowers here, a single tree, and then you've got some foliage, and also, not to miss out, the stars and the moon, which are in there, tucked in. And then the dies cut out these elements on the die cutting machine once you've stamped them, and then these are the dies on their own that don't coordinate with the stamps. So we've got that detailed one, we've got just the cutout without the stamps, the oak leaves, and you have one going one way, one going the other way, perfect for wreaths. The flowers which I've coloured in, the little sprigs of pine, and then you've got two sets of trees. You've got a set of 5 and a set of 3. So I'm going to be using some of those for our card this evening. Let us start with this white wreath. So I've die cut this. I'm just going to get rid of these odd little pieces. It does die cut really well, I have to say. And when I'm doing a class in a box, I do consider things like how long it's going to take to die cut, and also how easy something is to die cut. So I just got some scrap paper here, and I'm just going to colour this in, but I'm going to change some colours round. Not quite sure what colours. I could go for pinks and purples, couldn't I? Just see what I've got to hand. So this is Light Fresh Freesia. These are just my blends pens. I've got an old one here, Light Rich Raspberry. That's going back a little bit. That retired last year. And let's see, Light Berry Burst, and I'm just going to pick something else out, maybe Dark Berry Burst. So even though Rich Raspberry has retired, I still use up the pens and everything. So all I'm going to do is go round here and colour in the elements around the edge. Now I know you can't see much of that because it's on dark card, so white light card. Let's do that. So yes, all of those dies were cut out. Oh, by the yes, it might have been. I can't remember. It's in my bag, I can tell you that. So I'm just going to go over the little flower heads, and a bit like we did for the Easter eggs. That's it. If I've got a lot to fill in and I want different colours, rather than just start at one end and keep changing colours, I like to use one colour randomly around the wreath, and then just switch to another colour and add that and work my way around. And that way you don't tend to get caught up in, oh, I've got two dark ones together or two light ones together. So I'm going to move that pen over there. This is Light Rich Raspberry. And obviously you could leave these, or you could cut the whole thing out in a pink if you wanted to. So I'm going to do these, hopefully. Ooh. I've done that one a different colour now. So I hope everybody's had a good week so far. Obviously we've got Good Friday here. I'm still crafting tomorrow, but I'm not crafting on Bank Holiday Monday in Toaster because most people had other things. already arranged. Okay, so just working my way around, and you can see these colours pop out, and I'm not too worried about the stems too much either. Just working my way around. That's that one. Must be nearly there. Okay, so that was light rich raspberry, and then let's see, I've got light berry burst. I might go darker actually, although that is still different from the others, but let's go dark berry burst. And then I shall go over in the green. Now I could have started with the green as well. It's really your preference. So I don't know what weather you've got over your way, Zana. Norfolk area, as I remember. Okay. Right, nearly there. Always takes much longer when somebody's watching you. Okay, so I've got a few left. So what I'm going to do is going to do my green, which will probably be granny apple green. Happens to be here. Oh no, dark lemon lime twist. So I should do my green and then see if I'm going to do those odd ones, or whether I leave a few white. I do need to take my glasses off though. This happens to be dark lemon lime twist, but it is a nice bright colour, so it makes a nice spring wreath. So as I say, it doesn't matter what order. Sometimes I will, well, more frequently I will actually do the greenery first. Okay, now I can see I've actually got some green on that flower, so I'll probably add some of that dark berry burst. There we go. So not getting too worried about how accurate this is in terms of where I finish the green and where I start the flower. They sort of merge in together. And I was thinking of a pink base, but seeing it on the black, I'm thinking possibly to put it on a black and then a pink maybe. Okay, so let me find the one that I partly covered up, this one here. So I could just leave those few white ones. What do you think? Let's do that little stalk. I don't think it looks odd that they're not done, but I have got two close together there. A little bit odd. Let me just see what I've got to hand. I've got purple posy, a light purple. very similar actually there to Fresh Freesia. Okay, just pop those on. And then what would be really nice potentially would be a white embossed sentiment in the middle. So I had not planned on doing that, but seeing it on the black, I think it would look rather nice. Let's just turn that round like so. So Anzana's had a busy week. Oh my goodness, you have done well, Zana. I'm impressed that you can see me if you've had your eyes done today. Right. Let me just get my embossing bits and pieces out. There's white embossing powder. Let's plug myself in somewhere. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. I unplugged the wrong plug. Okay. I might need to do my embossing just in my haul. So I think it would look really nice in white, really striking, and it really makes that stand out, doesn't it? So let's just put some embossing powder on first. So no, my embossing buddy on first. Even. Okay. And then sentiment wise, I want something fairly clean and crisp to go in the middle. And I'm liking this set, Hooray for Surprises. And I think Sending You Lots of Love should fit in the middle. Let me have a look. There's Sending You Lots of Love. Yes, it will. Okay. And also it's a nice sentiment, isn't it? Okay, here's my Versamark ink. So I'm going to ink this up. And I might make this a layer, so I'm not going to worry too much about where it is, because I am going to cut this down, I think, and then layer it with some pink behind it. But I want to get it roughly in the right place for my sentiment. So, Sending You Lots of Love, like that. Pop that out of the way. Grab my white embossing powder, which looks like it needs replenishing. Okay. Okay, just get the bulk of that off. Oh! Did you see what I did there? I'd forgotten that this was the back. Oh dear, it's the back of my sample sheet. I'm not cutting that one up. Oh dear. I bet somebody said, Jenny, what you doing? It's Carol Bennett, she says. Hi Carol, that's confusing me. Right, okay. Oh dear. Right, so I am going to cut this down, I've decided. So let's cut it to start with. Probably 9.5. I know it's going to be a little bit tight, but I want a border, maybe a double border, I don't know. So let's do that again, shall we? I must be in holiday mode. I quite like this where it comes around like that. Okay. Okay, take 2. So embossing buddy, just to make sure I don't get too much static on there. And then we're inking this up again. This is Versamark ink on my sentiment from Hooray for Surprises. And let's just use this as a guideline. Like so. Right, let's take that again. So white embossing powder on there. See, it's a tiny little bit there. Right, covering up my Versamark. Grab my heat tool and bear with me while I just plug it in the hole so I don't turn the light off by mistake. So I haven't gone anywhere. Talk amongst yourselves. It does show I'm live. Yes. Oh dear. Right. Bear with me, ladies. There we go. Hey Gino, darling. On your toes. On your toes. Rub them after. There we go. Okay. So that's going to go onto there. And we'll heat set that so it doesn't get caught up. Right, so I've got sending you lots of love on there. Let's cover this up. So I'm thinking, just going to pick out maybe berry burst behind there, and then I might pick out bubble bath or fresh freesia for my card. Rather than white. I could use white. What do we think? That works, doesn't it? So let's just trim those down So the colours I used for the blends pens were two retired ones actually, Purple Posy and Rich Raspberry, and then I used Berry Burst, Light and Dark, and then Lemon Lime Twist was for my greenery on there. So I'm going to score this at 10.5 centimetres, like so, and I know I need to trim this one down as well to 10 by 14.35, give or take. There we go. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I've got that on top. Okay, let's pop those together. And then I might see if I've got a freesia ribbon or something similar to put at the bottom maybe. That's one layer. 2. Now you could cut this out with a prettier border if you wanted to, but I know that this is quite close to the edge, so I didn't want to lose any more of the width really. So not what I planned to do at all, but it looks so nice on that black, doesn't it? Okay, so that seems to work on there, and you could use fine tip glue. Have I got any to hand? Nope. Or just a little bit of wet Tombow glue just on the larger pieces. So you don't want to go mad, you want a tiny dot on the bigger areas. Oh, I've got a bubble in there. And you especially don't want too much here because we're going on to black card, and although I have an adhesive remover, it really does tend to stand out on dark colours if you have glue where you shouldn't. So, not doing every one by all means, just a selection, sort of, yeah, like that. This would have been perfect for my mum. She always loved purples in particular. A tiny little bit on there. I just take that out with my finger. There we go. Okay, now just going to hold that down for a second. If you find it's lifting because you haven't put enough on, or you've got a bit of a gap where you put the glue, just what I tend to do is, rather than try and lift it because you can bend the piece up, is just take a little bit of glue on a scrap piece of card, tuck it underneath, and then just press, in this case the flower, onto it. So just tuck it underneath, press it, because if you lift it up it can bend it, and also it's very difficult then to get just a small amount when you're trying to do it so sort of from underneath. So there we go, sending you lots of love. What do you think? Do you like that one? Looks really different, doesn't it? Now let's see what ribbon I've got. Just walking over the dog. Regina. Good girl. To make sure I don't wheel over her paws. Okay, this one will do nicely, I think. So let's create a little crossover bow for that. It's not quite the right pink, but it's right enough. My goodness, it's wild. I have got the windows slightly open. Just going to do that again. That's not very tidy. And it's extremely wild out there. I'm not sure that we'll be going for an evening dog walk this evening. We might get blown away. Okay. Right. Yeah, that just balances it. Let's trim that and pop that on with a glue dot. And if you don't have a glue dot to hand, you can still use the Tombow glue. All I recommend, actually I'll show you. So if you don't have a glue dot to hand, just put the glue on the surface, see where you want the ribbon to go, and then just check you've got whichever side of the ribbon you prefer. Pop it on there, and then just hold it in place with scissors or bone folder or a pen or something like that, and just hold it there for 30 seconds, and that should be enough to hold it in place, and then you're good to go. So let me see if there's any other oh yes, putty end. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, a very good idea. Oh, back underneath. So yeah, just hold that. I try not to do it with my fingers because obviously the glue can come through the ribbon a little bit if you're not careful, and you end up with it on your fingers. But that'll be enough to hold it, and then you're good to go. So I'm just wondering if I need to put something across the bottom or not. I don't think I do. No, definitely not those. No, I think I'll leave it like that. I could add a little bit of bling. I have got some pink gems. Let me just see if I can find them quickly. Aha. Do indeed. So this has got white fresh freesia, gorgeous grape, and I think it looks like sweet sorbet. So let's see if I can find my way in. There it is. And these are called opaque adhesive back gems. Lots of the gems and things are retiring, so don't forget to check those out. So I've got white fresh freesia. I'm going to ignore those two. Maybe let's add a little. I could do a row here actually of 3, because there's 3 different sizes. 1, 2, 3, like so, and then I might add I'm going to stick with the white. 1, 2, come out, and 3. I don't know that I need the ones in the middle, but that just balances that out on the right hand side, do you think? What do you reckon? Sending you lots of love. And let's see what I could pop inside as a sentiment. Which I've just buried. Sending you lots of love. I mean, it could be for anything. That's the nice thing about that sentiment. I don't know what I'm going to put inside, actually. I could put thinking of you. Might cheer somebody up, mightn't it? Also, I've got sending, 2 lots of sending. So let's do thinking of you. And then that would be a really nice card to send to somebody that needs a little bit of cheering up. There we go. And I've got Berry Burst in one of the colours from the front. Let's see how much ink I've got in here as to whether it's going to come out properly. I've got a scrap of something. There we go. Just want to see. Yeah, that'll work. So thinking of you on the inside, like so. There we go. So that's just using that one die from the set. What is the time? 7:38. Okay. I just wanted to show something else, really. So I wonder if I might stamp this and then die cut the middle and then put some flowers on top. So I'm going to do that really quickly. Might just use the other half of this as well. Just to show you. So what I'm going to do is stamp this first in espresso, I think. So that's going to go onto there. You will need the larger block for this. It's just a bit too big for a standard D size block. Only just fits on there, really. Okay. I need espresso. Fits in my bag, bear with me. I'm going to take the ink to the stamp so that I can see where I've stamped. This is not the inkiest espresso I've got, but it will do for our purposes, I think. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this on the front of the card, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out using the middle of those two dies. So there's an inside and an outside. And if you want to cut it out with these in place, then there are two little tabs here and here. Let's put it back on the black so you can see that a bit more clearly. So can you see there are two tabs there? When those are lined up, then that will cut out that image perfectly. I'm not going to cut the outside, I'm just going to cut the inside, and where this little gap is where those little tabs fit. So if you can see that it just fits around there, so if you wanted this one as well to cut that out, and I don't think you can see, but that fits exactly around the stamped image. Okay, so I'm just going to do the inside one. Just line it up, and then I'm going to open this out and cut it up. Let's find a piece of washi tape to hold it down. And then I'll stamp and cut out the flowers and put those on the side, and then have a message on the inside. That's my plan, folks. Okay, so using more tape on the inside than the outside, because that piece is going to be discarded. And let's pop that through. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, so I don't want it to go right through the card on both sides. Just run it through my die cutting machine. Fell off the chair. Okay, lift this off carefully. There we go. So we've now got our twig around the outside and our hole in the middle. Just going to stamp this, which I can probably put on there. Yes. And colour that in really quickly, and then apply it to the front of the card. This is Fresh Freesia card. Right, just pop that on there. There we go. And I'm just going to colour that in really quickly. So I'll just use the same colours. There are just a few leaves. Take my glasses off. There's one here and two over here. And then we've got buds and flowers that obviously you can colour in whatever colours you prefer. I've got a little bit of dark berry burst. Just I'll lay down. In this colour they look a bit like carnations, but they look so different depending on the colours you choose. Okay. Right. And then I've got This is light fresh freesia that I'm just using to blend in. So it's not the exact same colour, but it will still blend in. And I'll do the buds in this colour as well. One, two, three. I'll lift this up in a second so you can see it. Go. That's that one. And maybe a tiny bit of yellow in the middle. Got Daffodil Delight. Just keeping that very light. And I've missed a petal with the lighter colour. There we go. Okay, so there's my little wreath of flowers. So I'm just going to grab the die for those and cut those out. Here it is. And I've probably still got my piece of tape. So just taking time to line that up. Go. Take a bit of tape off. There we are. So these could go onto here. Now you could do 3 of these and make them go all the way around if you want to. Okay. And just wondering, maybe I'll put some patterned paper on the inside of that, just something really simple and light. See what I've got to hand. Yes, it is a shame about the blocks retiring. Those 3, especially I think. The A is useful for tiny little things. Right, let's see what I've got. Ooh. That would work. Just want a very slight contrast, but I don't want it too dark. Because I want to be able to write on it. So this is from which set is that from? Oh my goodness. Somebody will come to my rescue, I'm sure. Let's cut a panel out of that. I probably have one cut already in my sections, but not to worry. So this will be, I'll do this 10. And done. By 14.35. Small something. Okay. Yes, it's just enough of a slight contrast. Let's just see if it's better this way around. No. It's the same difference, isn't it? Okay, so let's stick this in, and then I'm going to pop my sentiment in that aperture. Like so. And I know that's going to go into there, so I need to make sure that I'm a little distance from that. I might just use that same sentiment, sending you lots of love. Because then I can make that a birthday card or whatever I want. So let's go going to go espresso again. Let's make sure it's got a reasonable amount of ink on it. Okay. Could do it up here, but then it'll look a little bit odd inside, won't it? There we go. So I could put those on with dimensionals along. Oh, I didn't think of that. So because I used that piece of card, oh, it's going so well today. I've already stamped on the back. So what I can do is cut out another piece from here and stick it on the back like that. Out of that hole I'll cut that piece and then attach it to the back of there. There we go. It's always a way round. I didn't think that one through, did I? Okay, right, recovered. That can go onto there, and then I'll have that on the back, so when you turn over it's all covered. Or I could do that and then attach it that way. To see which looks the best from the back. Like that, I think. Okay, best laid plans. There we are. So I could, if I hadn't have stuck this together, I could put this on here with dimensionals that go over the gap, and then put this on the back if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to keep this flat. But I'm only going to put glue on this outside edge, bottom edge. There we go. Open it up. Like so. There we are. Okay, so there we are, a slightly different version. So there's an aperture card. And you could add little flowers around the outside if you wanted to, or little leaves as well, but I quite like it as is. So there we go. And there's so much you can do with these. You know, just with the dies. Just looking to see if I need anything else. I've got a vellum one here. And another gold one. What do you think? Do we need that? I have one that way. What do you think? Let me know, and then I'll finish up one way or the other. No, says Caroline. Thank you. Leave it as is. Is that what we're thinking? Not even, maybe one at one? We'll see what Caroline says. If it is Caroline, it might be Lexi. Of course. I think maybe just one. Just to fill that in a little bit. Just going to trim that little stalk off. Okay. Sorry, Caroline. So, tiny dot of glue on the leaves. As I said before, you don't have to do every single leaf. There'll be enough to hold it in place. Oh, Maretta. Oh, hi, Maretta. Oh, it is Caroline. I didn't realise you were here, Maretta. Apologies. Okay. She's let me put one on. Maybe if I angle it onto there. There we go. Hold it a second. There we go. Now I need to put a bit of glue on that. So exactly the same as I did before, a little bit of glue on a scrap of card. Oops. Tuck it underneath. Oh yes, because of course, yes. It's got 2 layers of card on it now, hasn't it? With my covering up. There we go. I hope you'll forgive me with that. So sending you lots of love with that little inner there, and then the one that I did earlier on the black card with the die cut element on it. Just coloured those in, and then because I put it on the black, I decided to stick with the black. Just layer that onto Berry Burst and Fresh Freesia. And there's our 2 cards for this evening. So thank you so much for joining me. Sorry I've gone on a little bit longer than normal, but hopefully you like the designs. Let me just bring that back up to the screen for you. So there's that one there. And then that one there in the Fresh Freesia. There we go. Right, I'm off to grab some dinner and then contemplate a dog walk if it's not too wet. So thank you so much for joining me. I do have a new kit to share with you, so I might pop on tomorrow or over the weekend, so watch out for that. Just realised I'm dripping glue. So thank you so much for joining me. Do take care, enjoy your weekend. I hope you manage some time with your loved ones, and I look forward to crafting with you again real soon. Bye for now. Thank you.